Hi, welcome to Nina in the Kitchen, where today I'm making chicken and sausage gumbo, but I'm also adding some smoked turkey because smoked meat in a gumbo is just incredible. This is how I do gumbo. For every cook, there's a recipe. That's how many recipes there are. This is a pot of, this is a cast iron pan with an enamel surface. And the reason I'm using that is so that I can build the roux and kind of show you how it looks since the bottom of this pan is light. So in goes some oil that's hot already, and then an equal amount of flour. That's 65 grams or 1/2 cup of flour. This is a medium-high heat, and that was 1/2 cup or 100 mils of just a vegetable oil. You can use grapeseed that has a higher smoke point, but this is fine. And then you just slosh it around, and you can see how all of a sudden this roux, it's not like a French roux, it's different, but now it's blonde, and you do not walk away from this. Louisiana has, I think, 4 different kinds of roux is how they designate them. One is blonde, that's where we are now. Then there's another one that's a little more tan. Then you get into the brick red, and then eventually black. What you have to avoid, and you can do this on a lower heat, this is on medium-high, but what you want to avoid is all of a sudden going from this to black because you walked away. What happens there is your roux will burn. You can't walk away from it. If you want to do it a little slower, just to make sure you know where you are, that's fine. That's better than walking. While I'm stirring, let me just show you the rest of the ingredients. This is what is known in Louisiana as the Holy Trinity. It's equal amounts of bell pepper, onion, and celery. And it's the Holy Trinity, like the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And you add the garlic to the Holy Trinity. It's known as the Pope. But what I'm doing is I'm keeping the garlic and the bay leaf. I have 3 bay leaves here. I'm keeping them off to the side because when these vegetables go in, if I put the garlic in at the same time, it would burn. In here, I have about 4 cups of meat. This is meat that was cooked in this stock. I used smoked turkey. I used a smoked turkey wing. I have some chicken. And this is an andouille sausage. And if you can't find andouille, actually that's fine. Just any smoked sausage that you like. Linguiça, chorizo, kielbasa, any of those is fine. And then here is the stock that I made using the chicken and also the turkey. The chicken, the meat in this, can be a rotisserie chicken meat, that's fine. Homemade stock is always best, but if you don't have that, then just use low sodium. And now this roux, as you can see, is now more of a tan color. I've been stirring for, I would say, about 4 minutes. Both North and South Carolina has their own version of gumbo. Theirs has tomato and corn in it. And Louisiana would never use either tomato or corn in theirs. Okay, this is getting darker and it's starting to smoke. I'm going to turn it down just 1 point because if you let it get out of control, it can go out very quickly. So now it's getting to be like a milk chocolate color. We're almost there. I think I have about 30 seconds to go on this. Okay, and we are there. So now you're at this point where you want to stop, turn the heat off, and how you stop this from continuing to cook is you put your vegetables in. What you're doing here, there's so much heat in this pan that what you're doing is you're actually sweating these vegetables. So now that I'm sure that nothing's going to burn in there, I'm just going to put the lid on here for just a few minutes, do a little cleanup. At this point, you can add your stock. This is 8 cups of that beautiful stock that we made. I'm going to put the garlic and the bay leaves in. There's 3 bay leaves in there. This is all going to cook Just put it all right in there. And next comes the meat. I'm going to cut those up a little smaller and also cut some of the sausage. I don't think I'll use all of it. And I'll be back in a few minutes just to finish this up. This is 12 ounces, 340 grams of okra, which I've purchased frozen because it's not okra season. But, you know, frozen is a fine product. This is 10 ounces of those sausages that we saw. That's 285 grams. And that just goes right in. I changed pots here because it's like a salad. You know, you put everything you want in it and it becomes this bigger thing. So this is a teaspoon of garlic powder, not garlic salt, but garlic powder, and about 3/4 of a teaspoon to a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And that's to your taste. You can put Tabasco in here as well, that would be authentic. And then you just put the lid on this and you just let this stew. What's nice about gumbo is you can make it in the morning, let it cook all day, come back in the afternoon. Of course, you would never do that if you were making a seafood gumbo. Some places in Louisiana will advertise that their gumbo base is over 100 years old because you can just keep adding to it and keep adding to it. It's so delicious. You serve this over rice, and when we come back, we'll finish it all up and I'll show you what it looks like. This is gumbo, and some people, instead of okra, see, okra sort of gives it some body along with the roux. This is not really soupy. It's got a texture to it that's just like silk. Instead of okra, some people like to put something called filet powder in here. And you use either or. They'll put it on a table sort of like a condiment. This is a Carolina gold rice. Putting some gumbo right on top because that's how you do it. Just for a little fresh herb, you put a little scallion in there or green onion, whatever you want to call it. I adjusted the seasoning along the way. I added a little pepper, a little more cayenne, and some salt. The smoked turkey flavor comes out, and the texture of it is perfect. This is such a great meal. It's a complete meal, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I'm telling you, this is delicious. I hope that you try it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back and just keep checking this channel out. Thanks so much, guys. Bye.